Thanks so much for joining us here on KREM 2. I'm Jenny Power. Let's get a look at the forecast and what we are seeing for the day today because we are under this KREM 2 weather impact alert. So it is in place for the day today. It is because we are seeing the combination of dry conditions plus gusty winds. And when we see that come together, it means that we are seeing elevated to critical fire weather risk. So be aware that new fires could start and spread rapidly when we see these kinds of conditions. As far as what we're seeing as we move forward, this is a look at some of the red flag warnings that are in place for the day today. So similar to what we saw yesterday, they are impacting central Washington, but today they are also expanding further east to include much of eastern Washington, including Spokane County as well as down on the Palouse. Relative humidity is going to be on the lower side from about 12 to 23%, and anything under 30% is considered very dry. Now, the wind gusts that we're also pairing on top of that will be near 35 miles per hour. Now, as far as what we're seeing when it comes to being aware of wildfires and what to do during wildfires, some important reminders for you is to make sure that you have a plan or you know what to do in preparation for an evacuation that might occur. Listen to emergency channels and know the status of the fire as far as evacuation levels. Of course, we go over them frequently, that there is 1 meaning to get ready, and they go all the way up to 3, which is urgent and leave immediately. So knowing that difference and also having a go bag ready to go with things with emergency supplies, necessities like medication, or if you have a pet, make sure that you have everything you would need to care for them as well in the event of an evacuation. Let's get into some of our winds for the day today because this is going to be impacting more region-wide. What's happening weather-wise is a dry cold front is moving through. That's what's picking up our winds today. Gusts are going to be near 35 miles per hour with some of the strongest winds occurring later this afternoon and into this evening out in central Washington, Ellensburg, the Kittitas Valley areas. They're really seeing those winds ramp up. As we move overnight tonight, they'll die down a little bit, but as we move into Thursday, our winds are also still going to be on the more elevated side. So just know it's still going to be breezy. We'll run that elevated fire weather risk. Future tracker, mostly dry conditions, plenty of sunshine, partly cloudy here through parts of the Central Plateau there and the Columbia Basin. But other than that, that relatively low humidity is a cause for concern when we pair it with those elevated winds. We're dry through our extended forecast into tomorrow as well. Highs this afternoon, mid to upper 80s for Spokane and Coeur d'Alene, 88 degrees for Wilbur, low 90s for Ritzville and Moses Lake, 97 is the high for Richland, 92 for Walla Walla. We've got some low 90s as well in the LC Valley. These temperatures that we are seeing are not quite as hot as where we were at yesterday, as the Spokane International Airport did for the first time this year reach 90 degrees, so we're a little bit cooler than that. Yet these temperatures that we're seeing are still a couple of degrees average when we consider where we're normally at for Spokane this time of year. So far, 0 precipitation, which is pretty on par with what we typically see for the month of July. Our average rainfall is less than 1/10 of an inch, or I should say less than 1/2 of an inch for the entire month, as July and August are our driest days for the inland Northwest. Overnight tonight, we fall mostly into the mid to upper 50s, and a few pockets are going to be in the low 60s. So if you're someone who is particularly sensitive to the heat, just make sure that you have a good way to cool down, especially in the heat of the day. You're staying hydrated and you are wearing things like sunscreen, but we want to do everything we can to avoid starting a spark. As we take a look at what's to come in your 7-day planning forecast, today is just that weather impact alert because of the red flag warnings that are going to be in place until late tonight at about 11 p.m. So we'll watch for that elevated fire weather risk. Moving forward into tomorrow, that dry cold front does cool our temperatures down a little bit into the low 80s. That puts us more on par with the average for this time of year. But otherwise, through our extended forecast here, mostly sunny conditions, mostly dry. The other thing that we're going to watch out for is the potential of another dry cold front on Saturday that could pick up our winds. So stand by. That's a day that we're going to continue to closely monitor in the coming days. Otherwise, temperatures climb again. Low 90s expected Monday and Tuesday as we're in for this streak of mostly dry conditions and warm temperatures. As always, you can stream our live local radar and get updates on the forecast whenever you like just by scanning the QR code that is there on the screen to download the KREM 2 app on both your TV or your phone.